All right. So welcome. I'm Kale, he, him. We're going to be playing CBR plus Punk. So on part of the Open Hearth. For anyone who might be catching the recording later, I think you all you all are aware. The Open Hearth it's an online community for playing people all over the world for playing games, role-playing games online, indie, OSR, story games, etc. You can find more information at openhearthgaming.com. Yeah. If you wouldn't mind, I'd love to have you guys introduce yourselves. Let's go around.
Okay, we froze here. 1 second.
That's I'm sorry, I haven't used StreamYard much. I assume do you guys see yourselves in like me, Michael, Jonathan, Casey, kind of order top to bottom? All right, why don't we just go there? Unless Michael's crashed.
All right.
All right, well, Jonathan, why don't you start then?
Sure, no problem. Hi, my name is Jonathan. My pronouns are he, him. I publish games under V2S Games, and I've been a member of Open Hearth community for a couple of years now. I'm very excited to play CBR+PNK, and thanks for organising it, Kale.
And Casey?
Yeah, hi, I'm Casey. I use he, him pronouns, and yeah, I've been kicking around the Open Hearth since last summer sometime, so coming up on a year. But yeah, excited to check this game out. Not super familiar, so you might have to do a little bit of hand holding, but but it should be fun. Definitely.
That's fine. Yeah, definitely. Teaching the rules is always part of it. So, and Michael, are you?
Can you hear me at least?
We can hear you. Yep.
All right. Well, there you go. Let's just say I'm very still right now. We'll just pretend we figure this out. Yeah. So my name's Michael. I've been on Open Hearth. I don't know, on and off for a while. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Cool. All right. So we will be using some safety tools for this session. So first, we'll just to start. We'll have some breaks. I would normally do like top of the hour for 15 minutes, say the first time, and maybe 10 the next. Might push it a little bit just since we got started a little bit late. But it'll be somewhere around that. We'll also do lines and veils. There's a section in the character keeper for that we will go through in a minute. Just for those who aren't familiar, lines are things that we definitely do not want to see in this game at all. Veils are things where the content might be in the world, but we're going to sort of fade to black before and not detail it at all in game. And then anything that you wouldn't want to, you can also mark things for ask first if there's anything that you would rather we sort of tread carefully around. We'll also have the X card. So if there's anything that you need to just stop playing for any reason with no explanation, you can type X in chat or make this motion or anything else like that, and we'll just stop and sort of rewind back as far as is needed. And then we'll use I think also script change. So if we need to slow things down or to just or back things up as far as someone needs, just to keep everyone feeling safe and comfortable. And then lastly, open door. If you need to leave at any time, by all means, go ahead. There's nothing. Don't want to keep anyone in the game they're not enjoying. Likewise, I may get called away if someone upstairs wakes up or otherwise. I'll try and let you know and not hopefully not disappear for too long. But that if I do have to disappear, don't don't hang around for forever. I'll try and shoot an email or Slack or something if I'm not going to make it back. Yeah, so I think that's sort of the overview of the safety tools we'll be using. So at this point, let's start by if everyone could just go in and mark any of their lines and veils. Oh, there's also the romance matrix. I forgot to mention that. So if you can fill in. I don't know that there's going to be much opportunity for that in this particular session, but you never know. So fill those out, and you can let me know in the chat when you've had a chance to fill them out, and then we'll review them. Michael, did you have a chance to go through everything?
Yeah, no, everything looks good. Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's fine. As
All
it
right.
is.
And so then if you could all just just go back and make sure you've sort of double checked and seen what everyone else has put in, and then just say something or not in the chat when you've sort of reviewed that. Awesome. Okay. So the game we'll be playing today, CBR+PNK, is a cyberpunk flavored game. So it's how to describe it, or can I find the description in the docs? Essentially, it's going to be a sort of high action game. A team of kind of underworld runners on their last run, trying to finish their veteran runners on their last run, trying to reach their trying to succeed enough to sort of to get out or get their sort of last get their final angle. And sorry, I'm fumbling that description, but yes. So where am I going there? I don't know that I have much more to say. I apologize. The particular objectives for the run that we will be doing today is you will be delivering a package to the extraction point at car number 22 of a Trans-Metropolitan monorail train. So with that as the sort of introduction, we'll move into character creation. So everyone can go in the runners tab. You can grab a column and add your. So we'll start with sort of name and image and all of that should be hopefully self-explanatory. Your angle is the sort of what your runner is trying to get out of this last run. What if they succeed, if they get what they want, what's it going to be? And then approaches are, so you'll let's see, you get sorry, I didn't open that. I thought I had the relevant things open, and I clearly missed one. So you're going to check off, I believe. Shoot, nope. Give me a second to grab the character keeper. Or the player file. I thought it was in the GM guide, but it's not. The character creation stuff. So when you're setting up your character, you will so you'll check in so that the approaches here are those are the things that are going to give you dice to roll. This is a forged in the dark based game. So you're going to be, anytime there's a risky action that you are taking, you'll be building a dice pool, and you'll pick when you are rolling one of these dice, you'll pick an approach, and you'll pick a skill, and you might pick some gear, and each of those things that you're picking will add dice to that pool, and then you roll them all, and if you get the highest die you roll, sort of determines your outcome. So you're going to pick one approach to give 2 points to check off 2 boxes in, one, and then two other approaches to check off a single box. So that will sort of give you the that'll give you roughly what your character is good at, in a sort of a broad sense. You'll also then check off 8 dice, check off 8 boxes across your skills. So that could be, you know, 1 or 2 boxes along the kind of the major skill, the something like piloting or analyze or ranged combat. You can also put a 3rd die in an expertise, and so you would sort of write in what the relevant expertise is. Maybe it's sniper rifles for ranged combat or something else like that. And then if something comes up where that takes effect, that will basically give you more options for trading off how many dice you have versus how much effect your actions can take. So sort of how much impact your actions would have. So you'll assign you'll assign your approaches. You'll assign 8 dice across all of your skills. You will define a starting augmentation. So you'll just write an augmentation along with some sort of an outline of primary features. So, you know, maybe it's a racing legs, or maybe it's, you know, something similar. Those augmentations you can then use as a way to help you gain extra dice for actions, or sort of resist consequences for failed actions, depending on whatever the augmentation will give you sort of fictional positioning for that. And then gear you don't have to pick right away. So like many other Forged in the Dark games, you pick gear during the run as it becomes relevant. So you'll pick a load in a few minutes, but for right now you can ignore the gear. So I will give you guys a few minutes to just figure all of that out, and then we can reconvene. Now, I have no idea if I can pause I don't think I can pause the stream.
I don't think I don't think you can in StreamYard. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nope. I've used StreamYard just enough to like figure out that I can make sure it's like saving off somewhere. And
yeah, I only understand it enough to make it work, but I think if you stop, you'll have to everyone would have to rejoin the room. I'm not exactly sure how it works.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. So we'll
right.
just cue the Jeopardy music and go from there. So for the moment, just pick one. Set yourself up with one augment. There are ways to add more augments as the run goes on through sort of a flashback mechanism.
Oh, sorry, Kale. I thought we could add additional augmentations at a cost. Is that?
Oh, could be.
Not
Let
the
me.
case?
That may very well be. Let me.
Because so far I've added I've done dermal plating as my first augmentation, and then I've added augmented strength, but I've marked hunted for that, and I've added wide reflexes and marked it glitched.
Okay. Let's see. So call for a flashback to establish how you acquired it. So gear to high grade or add extra fear. Okay.
I might have an older version of the playbook, but on mine it says under cyberware you can start off with one, and then for each extra cyberware feature, pick a drawback. Unstable or almost broken, mark it as glitchy. You never really paid for it, you're being hunted, or it caused trauma or stigma. Start off glitchy on an approach of your choice.
Okay. Let's see.
If that's not on yours, I'm happy to just scrap.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't.
two of those and
I'm
just
not
do
seeing
one.
that on mine. Like I think the mine basically has very similar sets of drawbacks, but it would be more of a like when you need it in play, you just you do a flashback, which would take a stress, and then you can pick and you can use that also for things like assets, or assets, augmentations, or upgrading your gear to like higher grade or extra features. So I think during the run you can kind of pick those up
Okay.
as
Cool.
relevant.
So we just pay for it as a flashback.
Yeah.
Okay. And does it have anything? What's the hunted mechanism, like the checkbox there for?
Hunted, where? Oh, that's a great question. I think so. I think that is an option you can like when you're doing a flashback to get an asset, you can be
Okay.
hunted. Yeah, I mean it's it's basically those same set of drawbacks that you had you called out. It's just a question of kind of when they like. I think it's mostly you just don't have to pay for them if you don't actually need them. So you're in a better state than you.
So for like the augmentations, is there like a list we pick from? Am I missing?
No, it is really
and can you just kind of like, do we have to do it now, or can we just come up with it during play?
I would be fine if you want to come up with the first one during play as it becomes more relevant, or if there's something that sort of feels appropriate for whatever character you're kind of angling towards.
Cool, I might do that as well.
What is the attune skill?
We're going to ignore that one.
Perfect.
There's a
perfect
separate set of things. Yep.
Nope, that's perfectly fine. Just okay, awesome.
Jonathan, did you have an expertise in mind for close combat?
Like something specific?
Yeah, so that's when I played this the last time, that was like I did the same thing. I just I want an expertise here, and I had no, I didn't even realize that it was yeah, it's the idea is like pick your specific thing and write it in.
Yeah, so I chose I just added hand-to-hand combat.
Perfect.
Cool.
So Michael, the checking off an expertise would come in place of one of the dice checked off in the sort of the skills.
Oh, okay. So
you should have 8 check boxes in that skills section total.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll take one off then. Actually, yeah. Okay. Actually, there we go. Yeah, that looks right. Cool. 8.
All right. Everyone's set at this point for All right. Well, why don't we go around and let's see. I'd forgotten that. Okay. Why don't we go around and introduce our characters? We'll just go in character keeper order. Yeah, let's start with that.
So me first?
Yeah, so Jonathan, you first.
Okay, I'll do the honors. Okay, my character I'll be playing is Angelo, pronounced he, they. Angelo's angle is to make them pay. Angelo is in their late 30s, has a rugged charm about their face. Angelo has hard eyes from a difficult life, and a hard body, like a noticeably muscular physique under their military slacks and leather jacket. Their highest approach is aggressive, and they've got expertise in hand-to-hand close combat. Anything else I should mention at this stage?
Well, I'm curious. Who is it that Angelo needs to make pay?
I think Angelo's employers, I should say. I think Angelo is a tough mercenary who's been working for a company or military organization for some time. But I think whether Angelo left of his own of their own free will, or if they left because they were expelled, we'll find out. But at present, either way, they're not happy about it and want to sabotage or inflict hurt on that company organization. Maybe there's an individual involved of particular interest to Angelo. We'll see.
Have a name for that company yet?
No. Do you? Oh, I could come up with a company. Let's call it. Let's call it. GCOM.
All right. Mint.
Yeah, so Mint him. Mint's angle is to get out. And I'm picturing Mint as the driver. So that felt appropriate to pick that angle. Or my highest approach is in smart, and then I kind of went, the high score in piloting, etc., etc. I'm picturing does anybody know the short film that the movie Baby Driver was adapted from? The one with Noel Fielding, and so in my brain I'm thinking of Noel Fielding from that. So like a leather jacket with the fur, the fake fur thing, and sunglasses. Because I'm thinking I'm going to take an eye augment. So I think he wears sunglasses to maybe conceal that. And that's about as far as I've thought. But if you want me to say anything else.
I mean, I'm curious. Is there what is it that's driving him to get out in particular? Is he running from something? Is he?
Yeah, I suppose when you when you live in, or when you operate in the underbelly, so to speak, I think you probably make more enemies than friends. So I think the idea is to like, get away from it all, get away from the corpse, and get away from like the petty criminals that he might think that he's better than, like just don't want to play that game anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe if I drive real fast, I won't have to. But yeah, that idea of like getting out, retiring, right, or like just not having to deal with it anymore, creating some sort of like space for himself.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Gravel.
So yeah, I think Gravel is an ex-cop who's booted off the force for reasons that might come up later or might not, but he was kicked off. So since then, he's just been kind of poking around. He's basically an alcoholic, smokes too much, has no social life really, but he does have a son and a grandson, and he's wants to make sure that his grandson has a future. So in his mind, this is kind of one last job to maybe, get somebody to secure his future, but whether he'll come out or not, who knows? We'll see.
All right. And then I guess one last thing, just around the table. So you guys are all working together. So I guess my question is, maybe going leftwards. Why were you why was the sort of the person to your left someone you wanted to wanted in on this job? And let's go reverse order. So Gravel, we'll start with you.
So why he wanted in on the job?
No, so why did you want
Oh, the person meant.
why did you
for
want
example.
Mint? Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. So the reason he wants Mint in is because like he just knows he can trust him. He's capable. He keeps his cool. He's smart. Doesn't he's not flappable. And yeah, so he trusts him. He thinks he can get it done.
Mint, what about you? Why did you want Angelo in on this particular score?
It looks like Angelo is going to be the muscle, or like that aspect. I think Mint is on the smaller side, so a little bit less concerned with punching people or doing excellent shit with guns or whatever. So I think Angelo might fit that role pretty well. Someone's got to be like getting my back when it goes super south, right?
And what about you, Angelo? Why did you want Gravel in on this?
If it's cool with you Michael, what do you think if Angelo and Gravel have worked together in the past? Maybe they're both on some tactical mission, either for GCOM or maybe it was a combined mission with GCOM and another company that you worked for, and we were kind of assigned together. And I think Angelo appreciated the way you handled yourself.
Some past history. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe we reconnected in a bar. We just happened to be drinking in the same place. We recognized one another, got to chatting, and this job came up or something
right.
to that effect.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool.
All right. So let's go ahead and get into it then. Oh, so the last thing before we jump into it, can everyone pick their load on their character sheet? So just to clarify, load is going to be one of light, medium, or heavy. If your load is light, you can sort of move around freely and blend in easily. If it's medium, you look ready for a job of some, for a run, and heavy is loud or slow, very conspicuous. What that load is going to do is going to give you essentially a number of checkboxes in that gear phase to use over the course of the run. So as long as you still have load left, if a piece of gear is going to be useful, you can check it off, and you have it. But once you've sort of used your load up, then you're kind of you've got what you've got at that point.
So what do we know about this job, Kale, other than that we're delivering the package to car 22? Are we expecting, is this in plain view in a crowded transport depot, or is
you are in you're on a monorail. So yeah, there will be civilians around. It's unclear. I guess you're not sure how heavy the resistance will be to delivering this package.
But there's going to be some security.
Yeah,
I imagine. Yeah,
I think that's sort of a given with the the kind of the lines of work you all are in.
Yeah. So in that case, I'll take medium.
All right, so you can just there's a drop down box that you can just pop the load in. You don't have to check off. So Michael, you don't have to check off the items now.
Oh, okay.
You can actually check them off just sort of as soon as they are relevant for some action you want to take.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the Fortune of the Dark, which is sort of where this is coming from, is very a big fan of just drop into the action and we'll figure out whatever planning you did as sort of in post. So you've got the gear that you can, whatever gear you have, you can just check it off as you need it. And then you can also use, you can mark stress, which is sort of your hit points, for lack of a better word. It's the you can mark stress to have a flashback to kind of declare that you had done some planning up front or some other thing that is, again, sort of useful in order to make some action sort of relevant, or to have some, have a MacGuffin that you need or something like that. So it's really just about sort of picking, how heavily geared out are you in the abstract, and then we'll figure the rest out as we go.
I think I'm going to stick with a light load.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. I don't see him going in heavy. So yeah, light.
All right. So we're going to we are going to step immediately into the middle of the action. You look around. You are in car 18 with package in hand. Who is holding the package to start off with?
Yeah, nobody wants to take it. I'll take it.
I'll take it. Go for it.
All right, cool. Michael's got the package.
Go for it.
And let's see. Just trying to make sure there's any other. Don't think there's any other questions we need ahead of time. Yeah. So You're in car 18. Michael has the package. You're trying to deliver it to car 22. Behind you, the Black Hounds are pushing their way through the crowd. You can see them. Their helmets, their sort of black mirror helmets are kind of glistening through the crowd. You catch glimpses of some the rifles down, like held at like at a low ready, and they're sort of slowly pushing their way through the crowd towards you. Ahead of you, there's sort of towards the other end of the car, you can see a door with just a like blinking red light above it. Jonathan, what do you do?
What do I know about this blinking red light? What would Angelo intuit from that, from their knowledge of
I'm not sure.
their experience?
I'm not sure you'd see much else except perhaps sort of do not go through here.
Okay, so it's like a warning, like restricted kind of area.
Yeah, something that's your. I would say that's your best guess.
Okay, and that's where we need to go. Is that the?
That's right. That's the down. That's the sort of car 9. You can kind of make out through like a little through the window. There's a car 19 kind of in the next through that door.
Right. And the what are they? The Black Hounds. They're approaching us from that direction, between us and the door.
No, they're actually behind you. Us. They look like they're yeah, they're sort of moving after you.
Okay. They look like they're approaching us, like they're moving after us, or are they just moving behind us and we don't know yet?
They look like, they definitely look like they are looking for someone.
Okay.
How many are there?
It's a little hard to make out through the crowd, but you think probably 5 or 6 of them.
I think Angelo mutters Black Hounds and just gestures over their shoulder. I'll slow them down. You go ahead. And looks for confirmation from the other two. Yeah, and then peels off and turns around and starts to walk towards the Black Hounds.
Okay. Are you doing something? Are you taking this sort of specific action now, or like are you?
I will, but yeah. So Angelo's plan is to come up and confront the Black Hounds and start a conversation to slow their progress, or distract them, or divert them, or hold them up, or block them.
Okay.
So like Angelo approaches the lead, whoever's there, and stands up and just stands in their way and crosses their arms and says, "Can I help you?"
It is a routine security matter. Please clear the way.
Well, maybe I can help. I used to work with some Blackhounds. I was in GCOM for a while. What's your name, son?
Our identities are classified. You can stand down, or we will we'll move you aside.
Well, look, there's no need to get hasty. You look like you're looking for something, or is it someone?
So it sounds here like you are trying to you're now sort of you've disobeyed a sort of a direct order. He's looking ready to perhaps throw down. Sounds like you're trying to do something here. What's the to delay them, to give your team sort of an opportunity to move? What would you say your approach is in this, of those four?
It's I'm trying to stall them,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to use like a combination of empathy and intimidation. So I think it depends on whether or not I think they're going to what the leader or the Blackhounds, how they react, or how they might react.
Sure.
So
I mean,
I guess I'm kind of leaning on empathy at the moment.
Okay.
I'm not physically threatening them yet. So I'd say probably empathy.
And then for skill, do you have a particular? I mean,
I'd say influence.
influence feels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think so the way that roles work in CBR in general is that based on once we've sort of settled on a role, and you've kind of picked your approach and your skill, we'll look at that and say, okay, you don't have, I don't think you have any, like, you're not using any gear or augmentation, like there's nothing of that sort that's coming to play, right? This is really like right now you're just
No.
talking.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just talking.
So then I would say, so now at this point, I'm gonna I would say at this point we're probably on the one hand, you're I think the effect is going to be limited. So it's going to be, I would say it's probably like a level 1 effect, simply because you are just talking to them at this point. It may not slow them. It's not likely to slow them down for much. On the other hand, it's probably also a low threat. So threat and effect can both go from like a 1 to a 4. I don't have a clocks sheet on here. I should have a clocks sheet on here. The general way that I'm going to sort of characterize various obstacles is through clocks, which is to say kind of boxes that you have to mark, check off in order to resolve the situation. So in this particular case, actually, I'm not sure that there's really a clock that's going to apply here, but in the effect would tend to play into how much of a clock are you going to fill as a result of a given roll, and then the threat is also like is essentially what are the risks of the consequences if you fail the roll. So I think we're at a level 1 effect and a level 1 threat. This is a sort of low impact. Now, once I've sort of just set the threat and the effect, you can raise or lower the threat and effect together. So if you want to have a higher effect, you can, but you're going to have a higher threat as a result. So in this particular instance, that might look like Angelo escalating, right? He's not going to let them pass, and that might turn into a sort of a more physical altercation quickly. Once you've so I guess Angelo, do you want to do that? Are you going to escalate this situation or sort of keep it as is for now?
I am, but not out of the gate. Like I think to start with, I'm not escalating just yet. I'm seeing if I can distract them and stall them and distract them, draw their attention without risking too much yet.
Yep. Okay, so then you get so now you take your dice. So you've got for your approach and your skills, you've got one for empathic and one for influence. So you'll start with 2 dice. You can push yourself by marking a stress to get another die, or is it 1 or 2 stress to push? I think it's just 1.
I think it might be 2.
Is it 2? Yes, sorry. Yeah, so you can mark 2 stress or add a glitch to get a plus another die on your roll. Or a teammate can assist by marking 1 stress and essentially exposing yourself to your teammates' consequences. So like if Mint or Gravel are going to assist here, whatever consequences might come out of this confrontation it would affect you guys as well. But it only costs you 1 stress to assist. And so either of those can be used to add another die to the roll. Once you've decided that, either push or assist, then you go ahead and take your roll.
It occurs to me, Kale, that this could be a setup roll for whatever Mint and Gravel are going to do next. If unless Mint or Gravel really want to assist with this kind of distraction, I'd probably suggest that they take advantage of whatever I'm trying to do here, and go ahead with that and do their thing.
I think the result of this roll is going to, if you succeed, the result will be basically that you have Mint and Gravel have sort of an opportunity to make it to the door or to do some other, like they'll be unimpeded in kind of their next whatever the next action is.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, if you've got nothing else that you want to do around this roll, then you can roll your 2 dice.
Okay. Let's do it. First roll of the game. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's
2 3s.
I saw the total and I was like, oh, that's a 6. That's great. No, it's 2 3s. So that's not good.
Okay. So on a 1 to a 3, a failure, things go bad.
Fitting, though.
And you suffer a consequence. So I think what this really is your words are not really having much of an impact on this Black Hound. He is not. You can try and stop him physically, but just sort of arguing with him is not really gonna slow him down. So I think in this case, there's not going to be any harm, but there's basically the hound is going to be pushing the lead hound is pushing past you and sort of advancing through the car towards Mint and Gravel.
Can I resist that?
Oh, you're going to resist that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's right. So thank you, Jonathan. That's when there's a consequence off of an action, you can resist that consequence. Which, how does resistance go in this one?
Have a look.
Okay, so you can Resist. Convey how you're resisting to reduce the severity of the consequence. Choose a method. So you can either use a special resistance. So this would be marking something from an augmentation. Armor, which isn't terribly like marking armor here wouldn't be terribly relevant. And then you roll the appropriate approach. So with no skill, +1 die if you opt to deplete irrelevant gear, which again, I don't know that you have checked any. I guess so the first question I guess would be, how are you resisting this? What are you doing? What does this look like?
I'm gonna step in front and
Okay.
block his path physically.
Right. Yep. Okay. So then, what approach would you?
Aggressive.
That feels aggressive to me too. Yep. Okay. So
Yeah.
then you're going to roll your 2 dice for aggressive, and that will tell you how much stress that costs.
Okay. Let's hope it's better than the last one. Okay.
So that is a 4. So 2 stress.
2 stress. Okay.
Okay. All right. So for the moment, Mint and Gravel, you are Angelo is has sort of blocked these hounds, and so you have some spare minutes to do whatever you are doing next, to sort of move down the train. I think as you are, so Mint, what do you do?
I think just sort of like quietly to Gravel, like says like, eyes on the prize, Gravel, let's move, like he's got this, right? So I think just trying to get through the door, like maybe not moving like super conspicuously, like if it's a train with lots of folks on it, how you can kind of move around, like there's a seat over there, or whatever, like not looking like we're making a beeline, but that would be my plan at least. Like try to get to the door, see if we can go through it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if we can.
So I think as you get closer to the other end of the car, what you start to recognize is that this is this door is locked, and there's like a mag swipe or something off to the side that you figure probably would unlock it and let you move through unimpeded. But you don't right now. I guess that you don't have a mag swipe to use off, just handy. So
right.
As whoa, okay, that was weird. So as you're moving down the car, you hear over the loudspeaker the announcement. Running can cause accidents. Please do not run. Go back instead.
All right. So I think that maybe Gravel has a bit like a mag card pick, basically
Sure.
illegal technology that can, sometimes doesn't work though. It's not the latest generation, so we're gonna see if it works or not. So I guess I'd mark that off on equipment.
Yeah, I think
Gear.
maybe I would like an infiltration gear or microtronics tools. I feel like either of those.
Yeah,
infiltration gear feels
gear,
right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, and so you're going to try and trying to pick the lock on that door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's your approach? What would you say your approach is here?
Definitely smart. I don't think anything
Smart?
else really works. Yeah.
Yep. And a skill?
Not really sure. Don't really think. Coding, maybe? I don't know. Or streetwise? Maybe streetwise.
Yeah, I could see streetwise. If this is a sort of,
Yeah.
something you picked up on your your cop beat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So streetwise.
All right. I think the effect here is, you've got your lockpick, you've got your so your I think the effect is standard. You'll get through the door. I think the risk is probably a 2, to also sort of standard, because you are going to be making it a little more obvious to the hounds that you are, maybe who they're looking for, as you sort of muck with this door. I don't think the mag swipe is quite as subtle as just swiping a card. Do you want to do anything to sort of adjust that? I think if you
Well, maybe if like Mint kind of stands behind me, kind of blocks me a bit.
Yep.
Well, while I kind of do that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, run interference. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I was gonna say if you'd like increase the effect, there's probably a what is that? How would that look? Yeah, I think Mint, I think if you're going to assist that way, that would be yeah, I think you could assist with sort of some blocking action that would give you another die, so you'd be up to 5 dice. Have lots that would cost you a stress, Mint, if that's so. If you want to do that, certainly go ahead and mark that.
Yeah, let's do it.
So how many
And
dice
what
is
did
that?
you say?
So it would be, so it's going to be 4
5
dice
each.
for
4
your
dice.
smart and your streetwise, plus 1 for the protect, for the assist.
And Kale, what did you say the threat was?
The threat was
threat
is a 2,
level.
threat
It's
level 2, just a sort of standard.
And does that incorporate the distraction that Angelo's doing, or not?
I think you could also, I would say you could also use the assist to sort of increase the effect, or to reduce the threat. That would be fine too. So I would be fine with you if you wanted to say 4 dice for a effect to threat 1, because you've got Mint sort of covering the disguising your actions.
Oh, okay, because I already rolled the 5.
Okay, that's fine. You had a 6 in the first 4 dice, so I am so yeah. So you the door beeps quietly, and the light sort of stops flashing red as it slides open. And yeah, you're through to your path through to car 19 is open.
Anyway, I'd be able to permanently lock the door behind me.
I think you could probably figure that out. Are you looking to do that now? Are you going to?
Yeah, let's log it so then they can't.
Okay,
follow us.
Angelo, are you still where?
But then Angelo would be stuck.
That's what I was thinking. I had the idea of maybe if Gravel kept going, Mint might wait by the door. So if there was a chance for Angelo to come through before the hounds, then maybe try to like jam the door behind Angelo.
All right, so I'll just keep barreling on ahead. Move
all right.
swift, but not
I mean, I'm
I
also
don't wanna
perfectly
run.
willing to lock Angelo in that room if that's what we need to do. But
Yeah.
if we want to stay together, or
Yeah, we
whatever.
we'll probably need them, so probably a bad idea.
For now, anyways.
So I think as you step through into the next car, Gravel, you see you sort of happen to look out the side of the train as the billboards on the buildings are moving past, and you see a giant billboard with some advertising someone in running sneakers or something like that, and the giant "Don't run" plastered across the top. Jonathan, sorry, Angelo, keep doing that. Angelo, you see the or hear the door behind you open, and you're sort of you're facing off against these hounds. What do you do?
What do I do? I had an idea. I think Angelo pulls out I'm going to mark this off on my load. Draws a blade. That's not my character sheet. There we go. Draws out a long, big serrated kind of 10-inch blade that's like military grade, and it adopts a combat stance in front of the lead, and it says, "Now, you don't want me to make you look bad in front of your team here. I suggest you focus on the trouble behind you rather than dealing with me rather than the trouble in front," and points over at car number 18, where there are flames visible and muffled screams. And I'll spend some stress for a flashback to say that we had started a fire on our way through car 18 on the way here, which would, for this very purpose, to distract them and draw their attention.
Can't imagine how that could go wrong.
No, I can't at all.
Okay, so I mean, I think you've so you did you spend the stress on so you spend the stress on the flashback. I think that's start that's I would say that's a 1 stress flashback. That's
one stress.
Start of the fire. I think so I guess what's your goal here? Are you trying to give them enough, make them pause enough time so that you can get through the door to 19? Like, are you sort of continuing to hold your ground in the front of 18?
I think this time I'm using aggression to force them, to influence them to go in the opposite direction, go and deal with the panic and fire in the security threat behind, rather than trying to come through me.
Yep. Okay. And what would you say that so you've got aggression on for your approach. What skill are you using?
Yeah, I'd say influence. I'm not. I'm prepared to fight them, but I'm not attacking them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then, so that's 3 dice,
mm-hmm.
and I would say at this point that's probably an effect 2, and I will so I will say that whatever effect you have here is going to go towards the Black Hound's clock. At this point, you are delaying or discouraging or sort of getting to get rid of them. So you'll start. I think I would say we'll go with an effect 2, threat 2 as a sort of at the outset.
Okay, and how do I increase the effect?
So you can increase the effect by increasing. So there's a few options. If you have an edge of some sort, so that would be gears, tactic, an augment, or some weakness that you're playing into, those things can kind of increase the effect gauges. I'm not sure that I would say, right now you've just got a knife. They, and they're in tack armor, so I'm not sure that is. I wouldn't say that's a gear that is giving you an advantage specifically there. I think you're threatening enough stature wise that it's not it's not sort of an obvious disadvantage either to this on this influence roll. That said, so that I'll just say there's no sort of edges that are pushing the effect up or down or the threat up or down here. I think that you could increase your effect by increasing the threat level. So that's always an option, is to just sort of make the roll more risky to have a larger effect.
Okay. I'm prepared to do that.
Okay.
So I can think of 2 ways that could be. One is that, and if I need to mark gear off for this, I could. Is that the fire we started was from an incendiary device, and we could say that was larger than what
Sure.
it might otherwise be, and so the risks associated with that and the threat associated with that are higher.
Sure.
But it makes it more urgent for the Black Hounds to address.
Yep.
So it has a higher effect for that reason. The other thing is that I could attack them and as part of the or show demonstrate my threat. But I'm kind of trying. I think that might be counter to.
Yeah, I think I feel like if you start attacking them, that's not going to. I mean that may be a way to sort of resolve that issue another way, right? Like if you start taking out members of the Hounds, like that's going to delay them. But I'm not sure that's going to augment your. Look, there's a fire.
Yeah, that's right. I was trying to dissuade, like think of a way to dissuade them, like maybe demonstrate my. You said like if maybe I use the knife to demonstrate my augmented strength rather than attack them, but like just to make it look more threatening and more which would have an effect that way. But I kind of like that first way. So let's do that.
All right. So this will be effect 3, threat 3.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever consequences happen, if there's any consequences, will be sort of worse. Go ahead. You've got 4 dice. 3 dice.
Cool.
Aggressive
3 dice, yeah.
Influence.
Yep. Let's do it. Come on. Yes, crit.
Double 6s. All right. So let's see. So you succeed. So the Hounds are going to sort of hesitate and there's now this that sort of essentially a what looks like the start of a roaring inferno. The crowds are scattering. Actually, I think the thing you notice, so you get a crit and you get so increased increase effect. I think the thing you notice is that the crowds actually aren't scattering from your roaring inferno. You're sort of looking over the hound. The hounds are looking, sort of noticeably nervous. But you look over the kind of the lead's hound's shoulder, and you just see like there's just a like right next to where you set the incendiary device. There's a just a middle-aged man in a business suit sitting there reading a business, like reading a newspaper, seemingly unfazed by the fire, like literally, sort of towering right next to him.
That's how dystopian this world is. Is it like, fires flowing on, people are just like, it's just things happen on the way to work. What are you gonna do? Someone will take care of it.
All right, so we are at about 9:30 here, so about 27 past the hour. I think let's go ahead and take our break. It's been a little bit over an hour since we started. Let's go and let's say let's do a 15-minute break. So come back at like, what would that be, like 42? All right. And again, I can't pause the broadcast, but at least I can mute. All right. Right. So, Angelo, you have face down for the moment. The Black Hounds. They're distracted by the fire. Mint and Gravel. So there's the PA. The PA comes on again. And the voice, Gravel, as you're listening to it, sounds eerily like your son's, and it says, "Please secure your packages now, or throw them through the window." Mint and Gravel, what are you Mint? What are you doing?
Well, I was hoping that Angelo was going to catch up to us here. So I might just be waiting for that.
Casey,
but if you want me to
could we say that Angelo's like that they're tied up and Angelo's bolted to the end of the car?
Yeah,
or
I think that's.
Or is Angelo still tied up with?
You've sort of. Sorry, my cat was trying to eat some food on the table. Hold on. You have distracted them enough, I think, to give yourself an opening to rejoin Mint and Gravel. I think rejoin Mint anyway. Get to Mint where Mint is holding the door.
Sure. Then in that case, I would probably want to try to lock the door or jam the door behind us.
Sure.
Just to cover our backs, and then hopefully the only threats we have to deal with are in front.
Yep. Okay. So what would you say your sort of what approach are you using there? Like how are you trying to jam the door?
Probably like hacking it somehow or whatever, I suppose. So I suppose my approach would be smart. And
Okay.
skill would be rigging, I guess.
Seems
You
reasonable.
think?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I think I would say there's probably not a lot of kind of exposed. So you might need some sort of tools to do this
Okay.
effectively.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think you can I don't think you're going to be able to jam it closed by like,
Pushing a
twisting some
couple
wires
buttons.
around.
Yeah.
Pushing
Right.
some buttons. Yeah.
Sure.
But I think so I would say mark your microtonic tools, and then
Okay. Yep.
then you could so that's going to be 4 dice, and I think it's a standard threat and effect, which will be enough to finish the sort of hound's clock
Okay.
as you lock them out of the car you're in.
Sure. Can I assist?
Yeah. How would you assist?
Could I like jam my knife in the into the door and through the metal to help pin it, or like create that as an
Or like, do you use the
structure?
knife to like smash open the like panels and expose the wiring so then I can like get into?
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, let's do that.
Sounds good. All right.
Cool.
So mark a stress. If you max out your stress, then you do as it's noted below, you become overloaded, which makes one of your approaches glitchy. You can recover stress using a what's the action called? Using it by taking a breather, which is basically if you have a moment in the fiction to kind of catch your breath, then you can describe how you do it and kind of take an action roll with picking an approach that's appropriate and clear somewhere between, say, 1 and potentially all of your stress if you roll a crit. So just for future planning. But yeah, okay. So you've got the 1 from the assist, plus 2 from your approach and 2 from your skill. So you're on 5 dice.
Excellent. And like, sorry. Like, I'm not super familiar with like Forge in the Dark rules and stuff. So is there like, I understand basically how it works or whatever, but like increasing the effect or whatever earlier, like we've talked about that a few times. I'm just not entirely sure like what the bearing on the situation is, or like if that would be helpful. Sorry.
Yeah, so I think at this point you probably don't need any sort of increased effect.
Okay.
Because mechanically you've sort of already filled the
it's on the clock. Yeah. Gotcha.
Clock. Yeah, right. So you only do 2 more check boxes, so you're in sort of good shape there.
Cool. Awesome. So 5 dice. Perfect.
There's a 6.
Yeah, there is.
Yep. So Angela sort of wedges the door, sort of the door frame open enough for you to get in there with your tools and kind of jam the door, and leaving the hounds on the other side. So for the moment, you are all free to kind of do what you need. So Gravel, as you look around, sort of down through car 19, are there any? Can you tell me about a passenger that sort of strikes your that catches your eye?
Michael, you're muted.
Oops. Yeah. Thank you.
Rookie error. Yeah, so I would say that there's probably like a family there that you know, kind of reminds him a little bit of, you know, his family life the way it used to be before, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you I think one of the the family, there's a young kid there, and he's got sort of a very distinctive pair of green overalls. And then as you're kind of looking in the car, you actually see the same kid with the same overalls, like 3 more seats down the car, with a different family. So Gravel, what do you do? You're in 19. You're trying to get to 22.
So he pulls out a flask, takes a good swish, shakes his head. It's just like, huh, genetic engineering. It's crazy these days, right? Keeps going.
All right, so you're sort of moving down the car to
Yeah, he's
the next door.
Yeah, he's gonna try to push on.
Okay. Let's see. So I think as you get closer to the sort of the door to the next car, the I think I think one of the passengers sort of stands up and kind of looks like past you, almost, is kind of staring over your shoulder, and says, "Aren't you going the other way?"
Does he recognize the passenger at all? Does he look at
No. So at the other down at the back at the door to 18, the Angela, as you're watching that, the hounds have sort of reconvened, and the front one, who you didn't you don't recognize, from sort of your first interaction, is you see someone, you see him, well, you see them. You can't really see anything of their face, but they're getting into the door, and it looks like they're trying to sort of reverse whatever Mint has done to block it, to kind of let the hounds through. Angela, what do you do?
Oh, wow, already. Because that was like already high effect, and it was a crit, so it's like super high effect. So is the fire out, or is that being contained? Is that
I think it's a little hard to tell, sort of behind the door, like what they're, are they evacuating that car? Are they putting out the fire? Like, did they, it's a little
But they're now, but the hounds are now at the door which we just secured.
There's
at least
one, there's at least one hound who seems to be trying to you see, he's got his clothing is it's sort of subtly different from the sort of the regular uniforms the other hounds had. But yes, he's trying to
But it's just so it's just one guy. It's not the whole team. It's just one guy.
I mean that's sort of all you can see right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So like Angelo ignores them and like looks over at Mint and is like, let's go, and it says, let's go. And it's kind of a question, Mint knows, but like,
Yeah, absolutely.
And we start heading down a car away from the locked door towards gravel to catch up.
All right.
And if Mint wants to do anything on the way, go for it.
So
no, maybe comment on how stressed out you look.
Yeah, I thought about popping a pill. I might like if we've got
or maybe
moment,
just Mint offer you like a cigarette or something. Like, bro, you got to calm down.
Yeah, you can see the veins kind of sticking out on Angelo's neck, and yeah, it's like takes a cigarette and takes a deep.
Gravel hands him a flask.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm rolling. Take a breather.
Steady the nerves.
Take a breather.
Let's do it. All right. So
what would you say the approach is that you're?
I don't know. Like
straight into booze and cigarettes is pretty aggressive.
Yeah. It is pretty aggressive. All right. I'll take it.
Yep. We'll.
All right. Done.
So yeah, just roll your 2D.
Okay. Come on. Yes, I got a 6.
All right. So take a breather.
So I think that's
6. Clear 3.
2 stress. 3 stress. Perfect.
Yep.
Nice.
Cool. And you just get that one per mission, isn't it? So do I mark that off somewhere, or is it...
So that's I'm a little confused because I thought that I remembered seeing something about the like once per mission, but I'm also in the particular like runner file that I'm looking at. I didn't see anything about once, so I'm a little confused.
Okay. Well, we can. I'll just note it under stress that I've already taken a breather, and we can work that out later.
All right.
Yeah, I don't see anything in there about once permissions.
Yeah. I think I downloaded them relatively recently, but again, okay, so so you guys are moving down the car. Is that right? Okay, so at the door at the end of the car has the classic I think it was from like I'm now forgetting the reference, so never mind. That the door has like a big sort of ad kind of plastered around it with like a you're honestly having a little bit of trouble to like figuring out like what is it trying to advertise, but it's got a big just like across, face them, go back, just sort of around the door. And I think Mint, as you try and open the door, it feels physically stuck. Like it's not sliding open like the last one, although there doesn't seem to be a kind of an electronic lock on it. What do you do?
Well, I'll probably look to Angelo. but also like I don't think Mint would let that fly either. Like that whatever that advertisement was, like that's odd, right? So I think he might say something like, "Did either of you see that? Was that a message? Is that for us? Like, do we have any way of communicating? Like, could it be a communication for us? Would I suspect that maybe? Like,
I mean, I don't know that you would. You don't remember having sort of planned for, outside communication that way.
sure.
But I mean, do you want to? Are you doing something with that?
No, I don't think so. No,
question?
sorry. Beyond just maybe involving the other PCs a little bit. Like, is that on for you guys? Like, that doesn't seem right to me.
So sometimes when it gets weird, you just got to go with it.
Only way is through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably nothing.
Perfect. Well, this door won't open.
Is there like like anything where you can like open the ceiling to get on the top? Like an escape exit or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you want to try and, I think if you're, as you're sort of looking around, you, I think you can get, I think you can see, that, I don't know, the like there is a hatch in the roof that if you you might be able to kind of jerry rig open. It's it certainly doesn't look like it's designed to be easily accessed, but you can I think there is a hatch that you could try and get out.
Well, I always loved the movie Fugitive. Maybe we should give it a shot.
All right, so how are you gonna open that?
I think I'm just gonna shoot it with my shotgun.
All right, I like it.
But
that sounds aggressive to me.
Yeah, and also means I got a shotgun, so there we go.
And skill wise, ranged combat. I mean that.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah.
Cool. So as a reminder, your expertise there will give you gives you the option of you can, where is it? So you can trade a I think you can trade a die. Yeah, so you can trade a die for an edge. So to sort of improve your effect or kind of reduce the threat.
Yeah, I'll do that. We'll increase the effect.
Okay. All right. So let's see. So that. So I think you start with 3. You start with either 3 or 4 dice. I'm not quite sure how that expertise, like whether it counts as another die.
Check.
They don't add a die to the roll. So yeah. So you start with 3 dice, and then you would use. So you could go down to 2 dice to get that increased effect without any corresponding increase in the threat.
All right. So 2d6.
Yep.
All right. It doesn't sound great odds to me, but we'll see.
All right.
Well, I can assist if you like. Oh, go for it.
Sorry. So that's a 4. So with a 4, you have a partial success. So you I mean, what is it? You fire the shotgun into the so this exit hatch, and I think it blows open. I think the consequence here is that kind of as you do that, you actually hear sort of a double thump, and you look back around, and the hounds have blown through the door behind you, and sort of are now streaming into the car. So but you've got your exit hatch open. You are free to climb onto the roof of this moving train. So Angela, what do you do? I can't hear you, but I don't.
I'm mute. I was muted. Sorry, I've got a mute on my mic as well. So
Yep.
Yeah. So I think I look to Mint for Mint to go, so that Angelo can hold them off if we can't get up in time. But otherwise, Angelo's not going to wait to stop them. They're going to just go straight up after Mint, unless Mint wants to, do something else.
No, I think Mint's like time to move, pitter patter through the hatch.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So Mint, you climb up through the hatch. I mean, I think you get up to the you poke your head out, and you're sort of expecting like a lot of wind, right? This is a fast moving train. This should not be a comfortable experience. You climb out, and it's just not. You get out of the get out onto the top of the car, and it sort of feels like you're still in the car, right? Like there's no wind movement. You can see the buildings are moving past, and like yeah. The train sort of moves on ahead. You can see the next, you just came out of the sort of front end of 19. The train sort of has a few cars fading into the distance. I think you can see another hatch in car 20 up ahead. What are you doing?
Well, as weird as that is, there's job to be done. So I think I would try to like get to that next hatch and maybe open it for these guys coming after. Hopefully.
Okay. So I think you sort of cross over to the next train, and the hatch is there, and it's I think it's like I don't think it like I think it open, there's a it's not designed to be sort of locked from the outside, right? Like from the outside,
Sure.
you can sort of pop it open and get through there. I think as you drop into the next car, you'll notice that it feels it's much more crowded. You're really going to have to kind of like push your way through the crowd to kind of get where you're going. Gravel, what are you doing while this is happening? So we've got the house in 19. Mint has
Yeah, he's really
That's
not
it.
looking forward to going up on the roof himself, but he's just like, all right. Takes a swig. All right, let's do it. And gets up. Tries to get up through the hatch as well.
All right. Yeah, and so you also notice the sort of odd lack of wind as you go
Yeah,
up.
he's going like this. It's like, what the hell? It's like,
Um,
I better not. My body better not be in some vat somewhere. That's all I gotta say. And then he just, and then since it's like that, he just like walks like really like just normal. Like it's just no big deal. Looking around, shrugs, opens up the hatch, pops in.
okay. Are you going to try and do anything to sort of move through the crowd, or should we? I mean, we also left Angelo facing off, with the hounds bearing
Yeah.
down on him. So we could.
Yeah, so he holds a shotgun up in the air, and he has like his old badge, which he shouldn't. He's not supposed to. He's supposed to turn it in, but he still has it. And he's like, police coming through, even though he looks like a hobo, like a little hobo cop. He's hobo cop. Yeah. So he's yeah, and he just kind of pushes through.
So I think the passengers in front of you don't really respond to, you like hold the shotgun up, and like, you'd expect in a, crowded, you'd expect some response, some movement, and you just don't get it. They're just the sort of this crowd is just kind of in the, they are in the walk, in the aisles of this train, and they're not kind of not moving out of the way. You're going to have to do something. You're going to have to do something more. So while you think about that,
Yeah. Is there an
Angelo,
emergency? Is there an emergency stop? There's always one of those, right? Yeah.
Angelo, the hounds are quickly advancing through the car behind you. What do you do?
Well, I'm going to go up through the hole, through the hatch.
Okay.
And then, yeah. And then I'm going to try to close the hatch behind me. And what gear do I have? I'm just looking to see if there's anything I can do to kind of like, I'm going to use my second grenade. I think because I had ticked it one
you
before,
marked off,
but I think it unticked it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you'd mark that off for the incendiary, for your flashback. Got it.
Yeah, for the flashback. Yeah, that's right.
Sure. Yep.
So I might use could I use a special grenade or as it's not a bomb, but it's like kind of it fuses it kind of superheats the surface that it's attached to. So like in this case, it would fuse the metal of the hatch together so it couldn't be opened. So I like kind of
sure.
So Angela pops up, closes the hatch, jams this kind of like tacky like kind of it's kind of like an incendiary, but it's more like a special device, and it fuses, like it kind of hisses and it superheats as it tries to seal it shut.
I'm just trying to think, because you blew open this hatch with a shotgun. So like.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. Did it blow away, or was it just did it flap open?
Yeah,
is it just dented in the middle, or is it like with the latch broken?
I guess that's fair. I think it
off?
probably yeah, I mean, you probably like ruined whatever latch mechanism it had, but it's probably like structurally there. So sure. So I think you can try and kind of fuse it shut. to slow those to slow the hounds down.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
So what approach would you call this?
I mean, let me just look at the definitions. Like, it's not empathetic or stealthy. So it's either aggressive or smart.
Yeah.
I'm just looking like Angelo's doing this quickly and and aggressively, but whether or not you could classify that's
Yeah, so I've got creativity, cunning, or perception as the like tags that it's listed under smart in the runner file I'm looking at, and force, intimidation, or destruction as the aggressive. So destruction fits.
I'm kind of destroying. Yeah, I think that sounds right. So aggressive, but
I'll buy aggressive.
Yeah, but the skill there's not great skill. Like, it's rigging. I'm rigging it without, like, I've done this before, but I'm not an expert in it. I'm not all that. Maybe it's been a while since I've actually had to do this.
Sure.
So I'll go with. So it's just the 2 dice at the moment.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it'll be a 2 dice. It'll be. I don't think you have any sort of specific advantages or disadvantages here. So I think we're looking at a 2 threat, 2 effect roll.
Okay. Cool. Let's do it. 2 dice. So it's a 4.
It's a 4. Okay. So I think so the grenade goes off. Your device goes off.
Yeah.
And you've sealed the door. I think the problem is you have not set one of these in a while, and the material of this train is not kind of what you were expecting, and so I think there's a lot more kind of blowback than you might have expected. And so you kind of didn't have sufficient distance at the time that it that went off. So you will take,
I got singed.
Yeah, you're gonna you're gonna take some harm. How's harm? So I think it was let's see. So so you'll take a level 1 harm from being just sort of singed by this grenade. I think also you've now you've set a grenade off next to the hounds, so you can kind of hear some yelling inside the car, and it sounds like they are starting to get, they're starting to get ready to move after you guys with a little more even more aggression than perhaps they have already been using. In fact, I think you're sort of far enough back, but like someone starts firing, through the roof of the car, trying to hit you as you're going. So no harm from that, just from the grenade. But that's where you're at. So Mint, you hear sort of a muffled thump from the from the kind of the outside, or the next car, and you can see Gravel is kind of trying to push his way through the crowd, but is not it's not really making a whole lot of headway. The passengers are, again, not really responding to the the thump and the gunfire in the next car. The hounds are starting to I think that the same hound that was sort of mucking with the door the last time has started doing something on the kind of on the near side or on the far side of the door, and so you it seems like they might be through into this car shortly. What do you do?
My first thought is to set off maybe like again, like kind of what Gravel was thinking about, the emergency stop. But is there like, could I set the alarms off so that everyone in this car would want to evacuate the car specifically towards the hounds to create like a mass of humans between us and them, sort of, to try to like slow them down a bit by like forcing, because if they're not paying attention to this hobo, maybe they'll pay attention to like an official like, please evacuate the car sort of thing. Like,
sure.
That's my first thought.
Okay. So how are you going to do that? Like, are you looking for like a terminal on the sidewall? Like, what's your?
I suppose. I was. Yeah. Can I get in? Can I access the system somehow? The electronics.
Sure.
Somehow, I think.
I think as you're looking around, you can sort of see a panel, like a panel in the wall that looks like it might have looks like it might be some sort of service panel that you get into. I think as you get closer to it, you see that it's labeled access hatch 12. So you're going to so what would you say your approach is for this sort of alarm, setting off this alarm bell?
I mean, I think it's smart.
Feels smart. Yep.
Yeah.
And skill?
Rigging again, I think.
Sure. And you've got your tools.
Feels right. Yeah. Yep. We kind of already established that. So.
Yep. So I think you've got a 4. So it's going to be a 4 die roll.
Yep.
And probably similar level 2 effect. Level 2 threat.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds good. I'm okay with that. Let's see what happens. Got a 5 in there.
Yep. All right. So a 4 or 5. So with a 4 or a 5, you succeed. So you do.
Like a klaxon or something goes off.
There's exactly. Sorry, my cat is like one of the other cat this time is like up on the table giving me ominous looks, and so you have to give me a second. Come on.
You're good.
So I think
sort of like please exit to the back of the carriage or whatever is what I'm hoping for.
I think that's exactly right. So it's so the klaxon goes off, and the PA comes on, and Gravel, it's got the weird this sort of weird like it sounds like your son's voice. Please exit the train at door car 12. And the crowd sort of starts moving, and they are pushing back towards the back of the train. They're also kind of pushing all of you with them.
Yep.
So yeah, you will have to kind of move through the flow of these passengers to progress further in the train. Gravel, the passenger Mints set off the alarm, and the crowd is starting to like shove you backwards towards the back of the train. What do you do?
So he tries to like use his like the butt of his gun to like just butt people in the head to break through.
Okay.
Yeah. And push his way through.
Yep. So I would say, so what that sounds like an aggressive approach to me.
I would say that's aggressive. Yeah.
Yep. And close combat, unless you've got another thought for the skill.
Yeah,
It's
no,
your
that
choice.
sounds about right. Yeah, I mean, I don't
Okay.
see what else would work. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You do have your shotguns, so you've got. Okay, so that would be a 2 dice, 2 die roll.
All right. 6 and a 5.
Nice.
A 6 and a 5. There it is. So that's the 6. You do it. So yeah. So you sort of start. You start kind of smashing these passengers around the face. They move, but they don't really react or kind of block what you're doing. They're just they're still sort of trying to push you guys back through the car. And you kind of Gravel, you kind of bludgeon through them, and you can get to the far door. But yeah, that's so yeah, you are through the crowd. I think as you get through, I think the thing that strikes you sort of as you're getting to the, you get through and you clear the crowd, and you've got like kind of a clear shot, clear view through the windows, and you noticed like you notice out the window that there was a tower that you had seen as you were sort of strolling along the top of the car, and it's not that far off. It's got a big it has a big 12 on it. It's the News 12 tower. It sort of seems like it's in the same spot that it was when you were on the top of the car. Angelo, the crowd is sort of pushing towards you, and the hounds are, well, sorry, actually you're still on the top of the train, right? I think we had left you
I
there
don't
last.
know. You tell me where. I mean, I was headed to catch up, but like.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's if
you tell me where I'm.
Yeah, I think okay. So you drop down through the hatch, and you've got Mint's got the klaxon blaring, and the but you can see Gravel has sort of gotten through the crowd. I think the behind you hear sort of a muffled thump as the remarkably similar sounding to the grenade you had dropped, and you can sort of see the hounds now sort of forcing the door. They've blown whatever lock was holding it, and they're kind of forcing it open. But the crowd is sort of between you and them a little bit. What do you do?
So Mint and Gravel are ahead.
Yeah.
And so I push to catch up with them. Like I try to fight my way through the crowd, to cut a path through to them. And as I'm like kind of pushing and shoving or even hitting people or what to get out of the way, I'm like, get out, do I notice that they're not reacting, like that they're just.
Yeah, I think you're seeing the same thing that Gravel did. They're Like they
Yeah.
are sort of responding to the klaxon, but they're like not responding to you, even though you're like right in their sort of in their faces.
Yeah. So that like I don't think Angelo might have just dropped down and not noticed the tower, and even if he hadn't, he would have. Even if he was there, he wouldn't have noticed that. But I think he notices the lack of reaction. Like he's been on some urban, like metro assignments, and there's like a tingle in the back of his neck. His hairs are standing up a little bit. Something's not right. And if he catches up to Mint and Gravel, he'll say something. But I don't know. He's trying to get to them now.
Yeah, I think you can. I think you can sort of force your way through the crowd. So I think that yeah. So you guys have made it to the end of car. What are we in? 19, 20? We're in the end of 20. The hounds are sort of pushing their way through the crowd, but you've got maybe a moment to kind of communicate.
I see. These people are weird. I knocked a guy in the head and he just looked at me and moved on. Well, anyone else think this is strange?
This whole train is weird, man. Like, do you know what car we're in? Like, I think Mint is tripped up by the 12, the access panel 12. Like, is there a way to, like, if I look around, is there like a label in the car that tells me that we're in the right car, or?
Oh yeah. I mean the car, the cars all sort of seem to have, they have like numbered placards in them.
Sure.
You can see you're in 20. The access panel is definitely labeled 12.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think Mint is like, yeah, dude, this whole train is weird. Like, yeah, something's off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think this is a normal job. I don't think this is a normal job.
I think Angelo turns to Gravel and is like, "You seen anything like this before on the streets?"
Well, I mean, I've heard of experiments of mind control, but that's just conspiracy stuff. Different. Could be drugged, could be reality drugs, bending drugs that they put in the air. That's a thing. Cloning. Our bodies could be just in some basement somewhere, brains hooked to a machine. I don't know. It's a question for philosophers. Right now, all I need to know is that I got something to deliver, and I'm going to deliver it. And if this is all weird, well, I guess it's all weird. What are you going to do?
The PA comes on again, and dear passengers, please get the fuck out through car 12. Not 22, 12.
Well, I don't think we should listen to the train. I don't think the train knows what it's talking about. Does it still sound like my son?
What if it does?
Oh yeah, it still sounds like your son.
I'm gonna say you were always, and he's yell out, "You were always a disappointment to me." This might be why he doesn't get along with his family very well.
But I don't know what. Like again, I think Mint is like, well, what if, like, you say the train doesn't know what it's talking about, but what if it does?
It's like, who bloody cares? Though? We've got a job to do. We've got to get to 22.
Really, I don't know. That's 10 trains one way, 2 the other. You tell me. I mean, maybe we could. I got night vision augments. Maybe if we can knock the lights out, might give us a little edge.
All right. Gravel, are you gonna try and take out the lights?
Yeah, it's gonna try to take out the lights.
How?
I don't know. There's got to be some panels or something.
I mean, I think I would say this. There's probably a like you know, the lighting is probably just like a strip, like one kind of light panel down the top of the train. I think, you know, you could probably try and set something with the wiring. You could probably try something more more aggressive and just shoot the lights out. But
Just,
I think it's
you
on
know,
you.
when in doubt, yeah, use a shotgun. I use shotgun to solve all my problems.
All
So
right.
yeah, he's just gonna try to shoot the lights out.
Okay. So yeah. Approach
I'd say that's aggressive.
feels aggressive, destructive.
Yeah.
Go. I assume you're going range combat.
Yeah.
Given the shotgun.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll help with that. If I'll give you an assist. Like Angelo wants to shoot something right now.
Perfect.
Right.
What
He
kind
doesn't
of
like this
what kind of
situation.
weapon is Angelo got under his
A pistol, like, or
pistol?
two. Like, we'll see if we've got sidearm.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, mark that sidearm off, and you can assist.
Yeah.
So right, so you'll take a stress there, and I think that brings you up to 4 dice.
4. Got 1 6.
There's a 6. All right, so yeah, the you guys start shooting the shooting at the light panel. Jeez. And the lights in the train flicker and go out.
All right.
So Gravel, you can see. You've got your night vision augment. You hear the hounds start, swearing at the other end of the car. They're still trying to get their way, move through the again oddly silent crowd. They're not, but the hounds seem slowed by this sort of lack of vision. Mint, you had did you want to do anything? I guess. Well, so Mint and Angelo, what are you guys doing with the sort of the darkness situation? I mean, there's some light filtering in from the outside, right? But it's a classic cyberpunk setting, right? We've got it's nighttime and raining outside. So but was it raining up on the top of the car? Anyway, nighttime and raining. So there's only a little bit of light filtering in through the outside, through the windows. You are standing by the door to 20. Sorry, to 21. What do you want to do? Mint.
Yeah, I mean, probably try to open the door if I can see by any of that light, and if not, produce some sort of light that'll make it easier to see, and then try to open the door.
Okay.
But if there's a little bit of light, I think I could probably handle it.
Sure. Yeah, I think. I think as you go to open the door, it is again locked with I think this one is that you've got like a hand. It's got like a hand, sort of hand scanner kind of security system. The you're not sure who, like, not sure who why they would be why they all have these different locks. But yeah, you're going to have to do something to sort of bypass that to get through this door into 21.
So I think I'll turn to Angelo and just say like, I need a hand, and leave that open to interpretation a little bit. Do I need help, or do I literally need you to go cut a guy's hand off?
Yeah, I think so. This is to open the door, right? Yeah, like, yeah. I think yeah, so Angelo looks like, even though he's got a big build, he's noticeably more loaded than everyone else, more conspicuously loaded, and pulls out like tears off this Velcro portion of his vest, of their vest, and opens it up and pulls out, like, hands these infiltration goggles, and like that looks like they're just like lenses, like this kind of Matrix style shades, and hands one out to Mint, and puts one on, and then so we can see in the dark, and then like and gives Mint a some sort of tool, like, and Mint, this is your tool. Like, I've been holding onto it for you as part of the infiltration gear. What kind of tool do you think do you usually use with your rigging to open to get for us to get into stuff? Because I'm assuming we've broken into places before. But.
Sure.
And I'll check off infiltration gear.
Is it like some sort of glove? I'm just on the hand thing now, so it's like a thing that allows me to like interface with things or something. Yeah, bitchin'.
Yeah, so Angelo hands you the glove, and what does it look like you're using this glove for the?
I want to, since I want to say maybe it feels like an awesome opportunity to have like some sort of cybernetics in my arm that, like, when the glove fits on, it like lights up, like it's been attached into the wiring in my arm, and it lights up like kind of like a soft green teal kind of color, like rings on the fingertips, and like down the, like a kind of like a Tron type looking thing. Yeah. And I think it's like, it's like connected into like all my gear now or whatever, right? So I can like work on like a touchpad on one side, and then like use my hand to put it onto the thing and try to rearrange the zeros and ones, so to speak.
Sweet. All right. Go ahead and roll. Well, I guess let's do a roll here to see if you can get this door open with your Tron hacking glove. So what approach?
Feels like smart.
Feels like smart to me too. I like that. And skill.
Back to rigging again.
Back to rigging.
Yeah.
Tried and true. Got to open locks. You gotta.
Yeah.
All right.
Sweet. That's 4.
Yep.
Awesome. Let's see what happens.
And I think, well, actually 5, right? Because Angelo was helping out, right? You marked a stress for that, or did you not?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, it makes sense, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and roll one more die.
Come on, die.
5?
That's 5.
5.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think so the door slides open, and you're looking through it. The scene you're looking at feels familiar. There are a group of hounds in front of you, and a crowd of people coming, sort of pushing them back and there's some klaxons going off ahead of you. Now the consequence here is that the hound, like here's the door open behind him, and turns around and just like opens fire at you. And so you're gonna take a level 2 harm for let's see, hold on. So take harm. Next level. Yeah, so you'll take a level 2 harm from the weapons fire there. So you have a few options. So one is you can resist with so you could resist with armor by marking that. You could resist. Well, I think you've let's see. You could resist something else if you've got some other either augmentation. I mean, I know we've sort of got your Tron, your arm, your hacking arm that we've seen, but there you could potentially have a flashback for some other kind of armor, some other kind of augmentation as well. You could take the level 2 harm. So
yeah, I'm okay with taking the harm. I'm okay with that.
All right.
That's fine.
Okay.
One of us could also protect.
That's true. That's another option. You could roll a protect to take or resist consequences in place of a teammate.
So I'm happy to do that unless Gravel wants to do it.
No, I think you have better stats. Probably better that you do it.
Yeah, and I can do. I might take the opportunity to then I'm hoping so how does it work with augmentation? So can I just declare the augmentation and then check armor and to block the harm?
Yeah, so I think if you're going to resist, it would be the special armor.
Okay.
That's sort of where the so that would be if you had if I don't know if you have a some sort of shield generator augmentation or a
I was thinking dermal plating is what I was thinking.
Yeah, so I think you could you could check that special resistance box to resist that consequence with no other.
Where is that?
It's in the resistance online 51.
Yeah, I see.
There's the
cool. And that would just block all the harm?
I think so.
Cool.
Yeah. So when resistance, right? So when you resist, you either mark and deplete armor or a special resistance, or you roll an approach based on how you're resisting and then take some stress for it. So that works. Mint. Awesome. So that I guess that would be the thing is Mint. You could also have just resisted with a roll. That would be the other.
Okay.
So in any event, you don't mark you don't get shot because you are Angelo. What is that? What does it look like, Angelo?
Yeah, so Angelo sees is watching Mint do watching Mint do his thing, and suddenly the door opens and just reacting out of instinct and experience, jumps in front of Mint and takes the bullet in the chest, and it just kind of bounces with this metallic ping, hit bounces off the chest and drops to the floor, and Angelo pulls out a gun and starts shooting back.
All right,
I guess.
Yeah, so go ahead, make that roll.
Yeah. All right, so it's aggressive. It's ranged combat. Oh, is it? It could be close because it's pretty. Either way, I mean, I have
Either way.
special expertise in hand to hand, but I think this is where shooting is, so I don't think that applies. So that's 4 dice. Yeah, I don't have any other edges that I want to use right now, other than that. Is it dark in the carriage that's ahead, or is it?
It is dark.
Yeah.
The lights were shot out.
Yeah. So maybe that's an edge that like it's hard for them to see for this hound
Yeah, I
to
mean,
see.
I think you've got sort of an element of surprise here. So yeah, I do think you'll get. I mean, the clock on these guys is already at 4 because you'd already you ticked it for a few other for the crowd and the darkness, I think. So yeah, you'll have sort of effectively neutralized them with your sort of standard with this roll, assuming it goes well.
All right, so I've got 4 dice. Does anyone want to assist?
I feel like that's the only the like I feel like Mint has to, right? Like, thanks, Angelo. So yeah, I'll throw in for this for sure.
So what how are you assisting? What does that look like?
Maybe like as Angelo like steps between and this guy swings around with a gun or whatever, like I'm sort of knocked back by the whole thing too or whatever. And so like if I fall down, maybe I just like lash out, try to like kick the guy in the leg or the ankle or the knee to just buckle him a bit or get him off balance, or just add a
Sounds good. All right, so Marcus stress, Mint, if you haven't already. And then yeah, you got 5 dice, Angelo.
Sweet. Here we go.
Oh, right. That's a crit.
2 6s.
Yeah, you
3
are
6s.
Yeah, so I think you just
Triple
guys get the drop on these. Well, Angelo, what does this look like? You've got the drop on them, and you are at this point you've neutralized this group of hounds. What do we see?
I think the hound, like I think I shoot this hound like straight away, bang, like he's down, and the others like and Mint's leg catches him on the way down, and he falls back into the next one, and they're off balance, and then I shoot him as he's going down, and the one behind, and I don't know how many are left, and what if there's any more. How many are there, and what if it gives gravel enough time to pitch in. Like I think we within a flash we got 3 down.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. They all drop, and you sort of looking around, and you don't see any more.
Okay.
The crowd in front of you is again sort of oddly unfazed by the gunfire and by these hounds being killed right in front of them. And as you step into the next car, the door sort of whooshes shut behind you, and you see the placards, the car 20,